So, I wanted to start a diary about my braces and monitor how quickly they're moving and the pain I'm getting, and just I want to be able to look from when they were put, basically from now till when they're removed, and so I can see the difference in my teeth. I am 6 weeks in. I've got Damon Clear Braces. I've got them along my top and bottom teeth. My teeth were never that bad in the first place, but I wanted to have perfectly straight teeth, and then obviously whitened after. On the top, I've got clear ceramic braces, and on the bottom, like all Damon Clears, I've got metal. I also have two blockers at the top of my teeth, here and here, which stop my teeth closing and my front teeth overlapping, which at first was really hard to get used to. In fact, I thought that they had been put on wrong, but they hadn't. Turns out this is fairly normal to have those, so that your front teeth don't knock your bottom brackets off. I did panic at first. I didn't have much pain, it just cut my gums, but I then had to learn to talk properly. So when you make an S noise, normally, your tongue touches the back of your teeth. With the blockers, there was a gap, so my teeth didn't fully close, so I couldn't make the S noise. I've had to learn to adapt to that, and that's been fine. Things like no fizzy drinks, no curries, no red foods, or if you do have all of that, brush your teeth after. That's been fairly easy to get used to. I don't really drink fizzy drinks anyway. I do have a majorly sweet tooth, so I did struggle with that, and I am now. And I have to say, I do have like a chocolate bar a day, but straight away I go and brush my teeth. So you can do it, but do it at your own risk. So like I say, 6 weeks in, tomorrow I'm actually getting them tightened for the first time. And I actually have on my bottom teeth a spring here. So this tooth here, the wonky one, that actually was so tight to the two teeth next to it that she couldn't put a bracket on it. This spring has sped up the process of separating, moving those teeth out to give enough space to put a bracket on the wonky tooth and then twist it into place. So the gap you can see just there has been made because of this brace. So it was never there before. It was solid white all across, but that was a wonky tooth. What they plan to do is put a bracket on the wonky tooth and spin it into place. Then on top, I have clear. My whole problem is this tooth here. And already I've noticed that it started to move back a bit. So already I'm seeing major results after 6 weeks. Still having numb feeling in my teeth. So if I bite together like that, I can't really feel it. And I think that's because there's still a lot of pressure on my teeth. But I can't bite into a sandwich still because the pressure's a little bit too much, and I think that would be like it till the end of the procedure, because there's just constant pressure on your teeth, they're constantly moving. But you just learn to eat things with a knife and fork. I have a lot of roasted vegetables, I have soup, I do eat bread, but I just cut it up with a knife and fork or tear it off with my fingers. So at first, I'm not going to lie, I panicked big time. I thought, I'm not going to be able to eat, I can't talk, I've got to go to meetings, my job's really customer facing, and I really panicked about my speech, and you know, the ability to eat really was a big thing, but I got over that in a couple of days. It's just a case of getting used to it. So I'm going to check in again tomorrow after I've had them tightened. So the way they do that is they get a different wire, a shorter wire which they clip in, and then again they move your teeth. I don't know when I'm going to get the spring taken off. It's not forever. She did say maybe after 2 more visits, so tomorrow being the first visit, the one after that being the second visit. But the way they've turned, I'm kind of hoping that there's enough room to put a bracket on right now. But we shall see. Thank you very much, and I'll be in touch tomorrow. So, it has been 10 weeks since I've had my braces put on. Last time I spoke to you, it was 6 weeks in, and I said that I was going to have them tightened. Well, I didn't. I went in and she said they're still working. There's been a lot of movement, but we'll just leave it for now. It's more of a check-up to make sure that everything was fine. There's no wires sticking out. So we're 10 weeks now into the treatment. My bottom teeth have moved a hell of a lot, so much so that she's actually managed to put a bracket on the wonky tooth. So before, you'll see I had the spring to push apart the teeth around the wonky tooth. And now that there's enough space, there's enough room for the bracket. So I've had that put on. I've actually only had this on, I had it put on yesterday at lunchtime, and already there's been a lot of movement. So the gap here, there, has closed already in just over 24 hours, and these teeth here, here, have moved. Not sure if it's in a good way, but they have moved in towards the back of my mouth a little bit. Maybe that's part of the process, but we shall see. So I've now got brackets on all of my teeth. At the moment, we're now trying to twist my tooth straight at the bottom. Once that's done, we're going to follow the same process for the top. Now I won't need the spring for the top because there's enough room. I've already got the bracket on there. So we're going to do the same thing where we move the teeth either side of the wonky tooth to make a bit of room, and then spin it into place. So 10 weeks in, I'm going back again on the 18th of May to just check, I suppose, everything's fine. She did say we'd make a start on the top teeth, so hopefully we start to tighten that up. One question I do need to ask her, and I will let you know the answer, is why can't they do the top and the bottom at the same time? So there's been a lot of movement on the bottom. Why can't we do the same for the top at the same time? Surely it would shorten the process. One theory was that the pain would be too much, so having 2 lots of teeth moving would be too much. And I have to say that I've been struggling to eat. I had these tightened yesterday and the pain is amazing. Not constant, just when you put pressure on, especially this tooth here. I assume there's a lot of pressure on that tooth at the moment, but I'm sure that will all disappear. So I will report back to you on the 18th of May, maybe the 19th, the day after, and just let you know what happened. Like I say, something's going to happen to the top. What it is, I'm not entirely sure. The only other thing is that the blocker on this side came off. I was eating something and I panicked. I thought it was a tooth, but it wasn't. It was the cement. So as you can see, it's gone. She said I don't need to have it back on because my bite's okay. So I'll just leave it as is. See you on the 19th. So it has been a week since my braces were tightened for the first time at 10 weeks. So we're coming up to it's about 10.5 weeks since I actually had them put on, but there's been a lot of movement. The gap that was here has gone smaller. The gap the other side here has disappeared, and the tooth is actually now moving into place and the others are coming in. So a lot's happened. And looking at this tooth, actually, I didn't think anything had happened, but it's actually moved back into my mouth quite a bit. So just thought I'd give you a quick update at how quickly they can move. It's been only a week since I had them tightened and there's been a big change. So I will probably check in again at my next appointment. So until then, goodbye.